Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Deborah, and today I'm going to be trying to put all of this stuff that's around me into a journal. I cleaned up on the weekend, and what I found is I had a lot of stuff that I have made but never used, or partly made but never used. So I started to go through it and to make pages out of it. I'm going to continue that today, and I'm going to start sewing them onto this spine. But first of all, I wanted to show you a neat trick on how to get your lines on your spine so they are even, because I want them to be even in this case. Because I have such a chunky lot of pages, you can see here, this is one I've just put together to hold it for now so I didn't lose them. I want to make multiple signature things, so I want to have more than, you know, normally I might make 2 or 3 or even just one. This one I want to have a lot of, so I've cut this piece. It's 10 inches by 12. This will just be the hidden spine portion of the journal, but for now I'm just going to show you. So I've cut it down and I've got it in the cutter lengthways, and I've measured it at the 6-inch mark and drawn a line. Now I want to come out from there every 1/4 of an inch, because I'm only going to have a couple of pages in each of the signatures. I think that that's quite hard to do if I'm just using a ruler. So I thought I'd use my cutter and just put a line down there. Because I'm using black, it's really going to show up. And then I'm going to do the next one at 5.5, and I'm just going to keep on going. So you can see that hopefully that's showing up on screen, that I've got lines there now. I'm not sure how many signatures I want to put in here, but let's say that that would be, so that would be 1 inch. The center is the 6. Let's do one more and do 4 3/4. And then if I turn this round now and repeat that pattern, so starting at the 6 1/4 or 5 3/4 inch on my cutter here, because I've already got the middle one at 6, then I can just make sure that's straight and do another line. Now I won't be sewing signatures in that are the length of this, but I might. I'm repeating that same pattern, just coming down at 1/4 of an inch at a time so that I get a nice line through there, and hopefully it's going to be somewhat straight. I'm just going to come down one more. So now I've got a whole bunch of lines on there with minimum fuss and no measuring as such. So let's just come from the 6-inch mark. Let's grab my ruler. What I wanted to do now was just measure from the edge through to 6. I'm going to mark that with an arrow so I know that's my center point, and then I'm going to come out 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Now I've got an extra one there, so I'm going to make an extra one on this side just so that I don't get mixed up. And then I have even numbers even if I don't use both of them on both sides. So that's going to be at the, let's turn it around this way. So that's the 6, so I'm going to come out. That would have been the 5. I didn't do one at the 4.5 inch. Let's just put that in. So I think that that's quite a good tip in order to get your lines evenly spaced and somewhat straight. Now of course you're going to have human error because we're human, so I can already see that one and that one are just a little bit off, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Once I get all the signatures in, you're not going to see that anyway. Now the reason that I've made this so tall is that I have a lot of things that I want to put in here which are tall. For example, this. So I needed to make it at least at the 10-inch mark. And I'll have lots of little things in here too, so it'll be all mixed up. And the things that I'm putting in here are things that I've made that I, for some reason, haven't used in a journal. And I think the reason that I haven't used a lot of this stuff in a journal is that a lot of it I really like, and I keep putting off putting it into a journal because I like it, which I know that is very strange, but I think that's just the way that the brain is working. And I don't know why, because, you know, I can always make them again. They are also things that have been gifted to me. I've got all these little envelopes which were gifted to me, and I wanted to start to actually make use of them and build up my journal. So now I have got this bunch of pages that I've put together. You can see how chunky that is. So clearly I can't have all that in the one journal, or I can, but not in the one signature. And I'm hoping by doing a large one, I will be able to do that. I have poked holes and threaded this through simply for the fact that I wanted to get it in there. So you can see how chunky a lot of this stuff is. If I just pull this out. So this is part of the signature, the big fat signature, and I've pulled it apart. So here is like a cover thing that I made. Then I did this, and yesterday I sat down and started pulling things together so that I've put onto here, this was already on the page, I've put this thing I made, both of these that I did with the Tim Holtz dolls, and then in here I created pockets. I've got a lovely little postcard and then a journaling spot in there so that I can write on that. And then in this side I have this lovely old school report that I got when I was in the UK. Just 1939 it's from middle, classes middle. That's really funny. Anyway, I wanted to keep that, so I've just got that. It's quite worn and folded from being folded over the years, but I'll put it in. Now I put that flag that I did the other day on here, and the reason that I did that is up here some of the paper had torn away from being in the paper pad, so I've just covered it up. It's not loose, I've stuck that on, but I've created that pocket in there, and then on the back I've created this pocket, and I've put this airmail sort of envelope thing that I made into this pocket, so you can still see the flag, and it creates a bit of interest at the top of the page. And then I've just made a pocket with something that I've sewn. So what I'd like to do now is to actually put something onto this pocket. I have these beautiful little flower things. These were also a gift. Now I think I'm going to use these because they're ever so cute, and I love the colours in them. They're really nice. I don't know if I need 4. Let's see. Probably I do. In fact, I think I might put them up a little bit, just sort of, you know, so they're not straight, and also hiding the edge of this pocket here. There'll still be a pocket underneath, but I don't need to have it the same height. Now I want to put these, because those two are sort of a darker colour, I'm going to mix it up a little bit and put those there, just sort of tipping them. Maybe that one needs to go on top. Where's the actual spine? The spine's here, so that's the edge, the outer edge, that's fine. And this one here, I think I'm only going to opt for 3 because I don't want to cover them up too much. They're so lovely. And I can just put the 3 of them, and then I'm going to put something down on top of that if I can find something. And I have so much stuff, I'd be surprised if I can't find something. Now I'm only going to put glue down on the like 3/4 of it, because if I do it any more than that, I'm going to find that above the edge of the pocket will be sticky, and that's not what I want. I'll put another one here, and then maybe like this one here. See how that sits. Maybe I just sort of splay them out like that. That's probably the best way to do it. I'm just working out how I can get all this stuff into a journal, and I think that making a really fat journal but not having fat signatures might be the way to go. I don't know yet. I guess we'll see if it actually turns out the way that I'm thinking in my head it's going to turn out, because often it doesn't. You might have an idea and then I just can't execute it how I want. Down the bottom I'm going to put this piece of paper. It is double-sided. It's from a book that I got when I was in Amsterdam. Maybe I can put that down there like that, just so it creates a bit of, you know, covers up that, because I don't like that. Or I'll see what else I've got in here that I could put down there. There doesn't seem to be anything else that's long enough in that particular packet. I think I'm going to go with this. Yeah, that needs to be torn off, of course. So I just tear it just slightly for now and see how that goes. I have to tear that a little bit more. It's really thick. It's almost like 2 pages, but I know it's not, because It's just the thickness of the book. It had a whole bunch of little cards in it. In fact, I've got some of the cards somewhere. Now, do I want this side or the other side? I like this side because I can read. It says English grass, but obviously written in Dutch, I would think, because that's where I got it from. It's about the only thing I can read on there because it looks very much like English. Let's put that down on the bottom there. So if you've got heaps of stuff like me, hopefully this will give you some inspiration to, you know, get going on fixing up your journals. Now, I did want to put this pocket in here, this little envelope that I made. I'm just going to work out what else I can go in there so that I have something in there to journal on, and see what else I've got, which is plenty. Not that, but that's probably not long enough. What about this? That's pretty. That's something somebody made me. So if I pop that in here, it still goes in, and then I can put it all in the pocket. Now the question is this signature enough? Can I fit one more in, or will I just go with the 2 pages? I think I might just go with the 2 pages, you know, otherwise it's going to be too big, isn't it? I would like to put one more thing in here. See what else I've got. Maybe something little in the centre here. In fact, in here somewhere, let me just grab this big fat thing I've made back out. In here, I have got some smaller items, like that postcard, for example. Or there was something else that I needed to actually open up in the centre, because it didn't look any good when it wasn't open in the centre. I wonder if I can find that one. Not sure what I've done with it now. No, I mustn't put it in here yet. So I'll just find it and then we can move on. So this is the one I was looking for, because I need that to open up so that all of that is in the centre of a signature, so that I can see it like that. And I think I need something else separating these two. Either that, or I put something else in, because I don't want the same thing. So I did all these on the same day. I don't want them to be in, you know, where you can see both of them at once. So here's a little thin piece. I could put that in there, or else I could maybe save that for the next one that I do and find something else to go in here. Just see, because I've got a number of pieces like that that need that centre section. So what I'm going to do is leave that for now, and I'll just put that to one side, and I'll build my next signature and see if I can get that sort of, you know, going the same, because that's one that needs to be in the centre. And then if I take some of these off here, this is another one that's got a thick sort of body to it. This here is a little thing that I made ages ago, and it's very cute, but I've never really used it. So I thought maybe this is a good time to put things like this into something so that I've got them in here. And that is, on the back, is like super thick. Now I've stuck it on to that thing that I made the other day. And I've also got that which I already had in there. And I put another envelope in here, and let's see. Oh, and then in here I put the little postcard thing that I was doing. So you've got a little spot to journal in that envelope. It's really interesting finding all these things. You sort of forget what you've done, I think. And then I've got that one in here. So I may even be able to put more things into these pockets. But this in itself is quite sort of big, because it's big for a signature. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put that in there, and that would be another signature. Although again, the busyness between these 2 pages I don't like, so I need to sort of interact, you know, interlace them with something that's a bit plainer. Otherwise it's probably not going to look as good as what it could. I don't have to do that, it's just my personal preference. I'm going to go with the same sort of thing. I've got this piece, which is the tea-dyed paper that I was playing with, and I've done these pockets and flips. So if I put that in there, then you get the impact of opening that up when you come in here. So that is going to be another signature. I'm just going to start building up the different signatures that I think I want. Now these, I've got this one here, which again is super thick, and I finished this off, although it could take something else on here. This is a little flip out pocket, and I added a lovely little travelly sticker there. And this in here I put in is the note that I got from my friend when she sent me my lovely lot of happy mail. So I've put that in there, and then on the back I've made a pocket, and then I put this in. So this is a case of if I don't sort of get these things into this journal, whatever's left on the table I'm putting in the bin, because I find that a very effective way to motivate myself to use everything. So until I move on to something else, all of this stuff has to be used, or in the bin it goes. I did this at a class probably maybe 10-12 years ago, and I've never used it, but I like it because it's got all these cogs on it and a little label. I've put another little word in there, and then this one is a little tuck spot that I've made. And then in here, that was a sort of like a belly band tuck spot, and that's that accordion one that I did the other day. So if you haven't seen any of this, you can go back and have a look. They are all on my channel. And I also want to put something else in here as well. So again, looking for something that perhaps is a bit not as busy as some of this other stuff. Now, I'll just take this out. See if I can get this off here. Oh, there you go, that's coming off now. I've done this memory one, found some photographs and stuck them in while I was going. So perhaps I could put that in there. You can see why I needed to make a larger journal, because there's so much. So much to put in these things. And then this here is another page. So that's a page that I did that thing the other day. And then I've got a little belly band in here, and I put a little Tim Holtz thing that I did. I'm not sure if that's going to live in there or I use him elsewhere, but he can live in there for now. And then I made a pocket with this thing, and that's a journaling spot there. So I think that let's get rid of that black one, that can be another signature. So I probably can do, how many do we say? 13 signatures. That's going to be fairly big, but you know, we'll see how we go. So that's going to be another signature because it's fat enough for my liking. You can see particularly at the bottom it's quite chunky. And then I can build up another one here. Now this is the postcards that I did the other day, so I can use those. And here is another thing which is again really chunky. I'll just pull all this out. So this is all in one, and that is a thing that I've done. I made this ages ago too. I had a sticker up there, but it seems to have gone away. Maybe it wouldn't adhere because that is handmade paper, and it's probably didn't like that handmade paper. Hopefully I'll find it again. It was a nice sticker. More handmade paper, and then these sort of things that I had done with Tim Holtz stuff. And then here, it feels like it's got something on the back. Oh, it has a journaling card on the back. And in here, this is an old vintage pillowcase, and I put a little journaling spot in there and done the button up. And that could be in the centre of one signature, and then I could possibly leave this piece in. Again, it was something that I did recently, but I just put some more things on it. So I put this guy on here, and then I made this little flap. I already had the flap, put that there, and then I put this sort of vellum postcardy sticker down, and it looks like it's part of the page, don't you think? Because I've kind of put it accidentally, pure luck, on something that already had things overlapped on it, and it's transparent. So when I put it on, I thought, oh, that's really clever, it looks really good. It was pure accident, I'll tell you. That can go in there. And then this is the thing that I did, and I put a little journaling thing in there, a journaling card. So that is actually getting quite thick now as well. I might get away with adding this one on. See if I can get this one too. No, that's a bit thick, I might not. So I'm going to go with that like it is for now. So this is really a little pocket, and again I've got one of the baby envelopes with something in there. Stick in there, and that's a tuck spot here that I've made. Just pop that in there, and then inside, this is the original one. I haven't done anything else to that one as yet. It's as I made it. But I've got this little booklet. So this is a little thing that I had made with envelopes, and I'll show you. I've put a door on the front. I have a little journaling spot in here, and I've got some word stickers that I found. So I put a little word sticker on the front of that one. And then here, this is another piece that I did, but that is just decorative. I didn't bother making a pocket with that one. This has got enough pockets. I've got a pocket in here. So if I pull this out, you can see I've got another one of those little postcards that I made. So this is how you can use them. I could also put that into the journal itself as a little page, but I wanted something for that pocket and it fit really well. And then this gorgeous thing, so I've got that, and then this was something that was gifted to me, and the little pocket as well was gifted. So if I pop that in there, I think that looks quite sweet. And then on the back, I used this Sir Vagabond piece that I did with the Tim Holtz dolls popping out from behind him. And again, I'm thinking that that's quite thick enough. It's really only the two things, but it's going to be enough. So that's going to be another signature, and they're probably about to all fall on the ground because they're getting quite big. Now, this is a thing that I made as well. It's, I don't know, maybe a cover, but I'm going to use it as the front of the signature. Just something that I made ages ago too. And I'm going to put this in. This is my art piece, and I put another thing on that side, a pocket on this side that I made out of that, and then a tag in the top. So that will be that. Now I can put more into this because it's not quite as thick as some of the others. So let's find something else. These are vellum envelopes. I've got in here this vintage little birthday card. It says many happy days. It's just beautiful. It's very old. And I decorated the vellum up on this side with this piece that I had done. I'm on the fence about decorating that up. Not sure if I'm going to do that yet. And I've also got this, but that's too big to fit in there. I was hoping it might, but it's not going to. So I'm just thinking what else I can put in here. Maybe I will go to the postcards. Although that, I need to put something in there. That, I'm not sure that that's going to work visually to have those two. Let me just think about that for a moment. I'm going to start sewing my signatures in. I'm just going to grab them back from there, and I'm going to use the cutter again because I just realised I could use the cutter to find the midpoint of this as well, because it's 10 inches. So if I put it at 5 and draw a line through the, perpendicular to the other lines I drew, then that will be at the 5 mark. So that's halfway. And then if I draw a line at like 4.5, maybe 4.5, not sure where I want this yet. And then, so that was 1.5 inches in, so I have to come another 1.5 inch. So that will be, no, that's only an inch. I have to go to the 2 inches to get the next one in. And then if I come back from 5 to 7.5, that's going to give me, let me just measure that. It's 1.5 inches I've done, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so from 5 to 6.5 will be 1.5 inches. And then to 8 will be another 1.5 inches. So I've now got my crossbars, so I can go in and poke my holes, and I start to sew my signatures into this piece that will eventually become the book. Now, because I don't know how many signatures I'm putting into this, I'm going to start with the center signature. So I've got 5 holes. I'm going to poke in here, and then I'm going to put the first signature in. So the question is, what do I want for my middle signature? And I'm not sure I know the answer to that yet, but let's see. Maybe I'll put this one in, because this one, if I open it up like that, I have to find something to put in there, so I won't be putting that one in the center. Let's see which one. Maybe I'll put this one in the center. So I need to make a template to actually do this before I do anything else. I'm going to move on now and start to sew my signatures into the book. So I will do that and I will come back and show you tomorrow how it's progressing. For now, this is Deborah. Thanks for watching. Cheers.